Hello and welcome to The Whisky Trials, a story in a glass. This story was sent to me by my future brother-in-law, Russell Brinklow. So without further ado, are you sitting comfortably? Then I'll begin. Summer Holidays, a story in the Tomatin Verdejo cask by Russell Brinklow. School's out for the summer. It's a joyous walk home after the bell rings, long lies and football in the park to look forward to, but also money to be made. Cash in hand for helping Dad out in the garden on the big house estate. Grass to be cut and the weeding to be done, but also fruit to pick. Raspberries, gooseberries, black, red and white currants, and of course, strawberries. On hands and knees through the protective straw, the smell of summer and a little red berry, and the taste. Oh, the taste. Close your eyes, feel the sun on your face. Imagine the strawberry covered in cream or vanilla ice cream. Take some home to Mum for jam. She bakes a Victoria sponge and fills it with the jam and fresh whipped cream, and she dusts the top with icing sugar. Family come to stay, and at night there's games. Rounders, hide and seek, and once the sun has set, burning red, pink, purple across the sky, it's inside where the party is flowing. Dad has his feet up after a hard day's work, and the music is on. Charlie Pride, Don Williams, the Corries. He has a well-earned dram in hand, and there's that aroma again. Summer, only this time in a glass. Well, I hope you enjoyed that A Story in a Glass by Russell. I have them here. I got a set of these Verdejo casks from Tomatin myself. It's a bit of a muckle beast, so I'm going to lift it up, but I need to be careful. Right, so that's the daddy. I think all Tomatin fans will be quite jealous of that. Obviously I haven't opened these. I was lucky enough to have a friend like Russell who bought 2 sets and shared 1 set with me, and he's still got an unopened set as well. Oh god, it's heavy though. So there was only like 280 bottles of each Verdejo cask edition there, and they were exclusively for the Aberdeen Whisky Shop, and also this wooden little display case thing. I think it's made out of some of the old whiskey barrels. There was only 100 of them made, so this is 1 in 100 things. So as you can imagine, I'm very reluctant to open it, but the whiskey inside is fantastic, and Russell again came through and he sent me a little sample of it, so that's awesome. Little Whisky Trials topper on it there, keep the nice schmells in. So as I did with Luna's story, I thought I would do a similar thing, and I would just kind of have a look. I'll just get Russell's story up again. So I'm just going to have a taste of this and see if I can get the same kind of things that Russell's talking about in his fantastic story. So here goes. So the memories of that night when Russell and I were tasting this in his garden are coming back to me now, sitting on the chairs round the table outside. I think it was about springtime, because it wasn't roasting hot, so it wasn't quite summer, but it's summer now as I film this, and we've had some cracking weather. Everything's growing in my garden, including some little wild strawberries. Now, what I'm getting with this is what I got that night as well, which is it's almost like it's got that kind of nail polish remover, but it's got quite a harshness of the alcohol. This has been sitting with my whiskey coin on it for, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes or so. but it's not bad. It's not like a horrible smell. Don't get me wrong. It's linked with some of the fruits as well that I've not quite picked out yet. I'm almost getting like a peach for the skin. Yeah, it's definitely peachy for me. Apricots maybe. But there's some dark, deep sugars there. And some lighter fruits as well. Pears, apples, a kind of green apple. It's really nice. I think now that it's been sitting for 10 or 15 minutes, it's kind of mellowed out a little bit, which is good. Because I do remember them being quite astringent if you stick your nose in just as you've poured them straight out the bottle. So give them some time in a glass. Yeah, getting some the stuff that I kind of think of with bourbon barrels, which is the vanilla and the kind of zesty orange. Oh, yeah, there it is there. So I'm getting the ice cream that Russell was talking about. He says icing sugar. Yeah, it does have a lot of sugar notes, this. I am getting some like sort of deep, more of a brown sugar note, but I'm also getting an icing sugar note too. Yeah, again that vanilla ice cream. But yeah, it is very fruity, this, and obviously Russell's gone to town with the raspberries, gooseberries, black, red, white currants, and of course strawberries. I can't say that I'm waiting for this to sort of mellow out a little bit more, get a little bit more airtime. Obviously with the whiskey coin on it, it kind of traps a lot of that stuff in it. Yeah, I think it's coming into more of the sort of red fruits now. Whew, what's the thing though? You give it a spin and it just comes straight back to the kind of peach and apricots for me. Okay, let's see on the palate if there's any strawberries there. Ooh, wow, man oh man, I forgot. So I should have said. So because this is the trilogy of Verdejo casks. They're each slightly different, kind of similar but slightly different. We did have our favourites on the night. I can't remember which. I think it was this one for me, which was a slightly darker one on the end, and the first one. And this one actually is the middle one, which I think was my least favourite of the three, but still excellent, you know. But my least favourite of the three that evening. And I think I remember Russell saying that actually when he went back to them, that one started to come to him a lot more than the others, and I think that one became his favourite. And lucky he saved me a sample. Cheers. But yeah, so I was saying, so this one is 60.9%, so like a proper beast. And with that, you would expect that it's obviously quite young. You know, you're probably looking at it's not going to be any older than like 8 years old. Potentially younger. I don't know. It doesn't say. It just says 2009 on it, and that was last year we got them. So yeah, potentially 10 years. Don't know if it's 10 years, but maybe. So yeah, the other ones, one is 59.5, 60.9, that's this one, and 60.2. So they're all big, heavy hitters, and it can be quite difficult to pick out some of the flavors. Sometimes a little bit of water is a good thing. And I remember these ones with the Verdejo wine casks. They do have quite a drying mouthfeel to them, It's very rich, and it's got legs. It's oily as well, but it's definitely got like a kind of drying tickle. What with the high ABV and the wine casks, I seem to get that. So sometimes a little bit of water is nice. There's the ice cream. Yeah, big vanilla ice cream. Wow. Yep, I can say that I'm definitely getting more red fruits on the palate. There's definitely some strawberry there, some raspberries. It's good. It's really good. It's actually making me. I kind of when we, although it was a great night and we tasted them and they were excellent whiskies, I came away thinking, do you know what? I think I can leave these. I think I can like store these away for a rainy day or whatever, and not think too much about them. And they sit up on my whiskey shelf, and normally I've got like a bunch of other stuff in front of them, so I never see them. So it's quite easy just to kind of like keep them out of sight, out of mind, kind of thing. But now that I see them, and I'm tasting this one, man, I really want to get stuck in again. Yeah, really good. So many fruits. I think this is probably one of the whiskies that I've found the most fruits in. It's so fruity. I can see why Russell described so many different fruits. I mean, I've already added to that list with apples, pears, oranges, the apricots, and the kind of peach skin. So yeah, it's really bursting with fruit, this one. So this is the thing. So this is a strange review. The main reason I'm doing a review is obviously because Russell he found a story in his glass, and it was this one, and he sent me a sample. So I'm doing the review after it, like I normally do. Unfortunately, I don't think anybody's probably going to be able to buy these. They're probably all gone. But you know, keep your eyes out on auction sites, and if you can get the trilogy, or if you can get even one of these bottles, then I highly recommend it. And if you're a Tomatin fan, then this is a real treat. Do you know what's really nice about this as well? For such a high ABV, it doesn't have that massive kind of Szechuan pepper, which, don't get me wrong, I do enjoy that sometimes. But this one just feels, for the high ABV, it's I daren't use the word smooth, but it doesn't have that pepperiness. So from that, you can then there's no numbing of the tongue or anything. So I feel like I'm picking up more of the flavors as it stays in my mouth, and the finish is very long. It's very satisfying. It's very rich, slightly drying. I do feel like you if you don't put water in it, which I'm not, it might be nice just to have a glass of water, just to kind of refresh your palate, keep you hydrated, because it does have that little dry tickle. It's really good. I'm starting to get used to it now. I'm deep diving into some of the other flavours. I'm going past the fruit now. I'm getting some leather. I'm getting a bit of tobacco. The wood, it feels quite fresh. It doesn't feel like a kind of old, musty kind of dunnage. But I do get a bit of a malty kind of biscuitiness. Almost like a kind of oaty, crunchy biscuit. But I'm really enjoying this. It's so good. just the fruit. I mean, you pick something else up every time. Sometimes it's like the oranges, sometimes it's the raspberries, sometimes it's a bit of strawberry, sometimes it's the apricots. It's just like, it's bursting with flavours, and that's one of the things that I really love about a good whiskey, is that it can be dynamic. It can change in the glass, and I think that's the kind of stuff that inspires the stories, and it can, because it's so dynamic. I think different people can pick up different things depending on how your palate's feeling that day, that week, that month, whatever. You go. I tend to find that you might go through some phases. Maybe you start picking up more sour notes for a while, then you'll come back to fruit, then you'll maybe pick up the sugars and the sweetness, and it kind of ebbs and flows. And I think it can sometimes be difficult and take a good bit of training to actually look past those flavours sometimes, to find the other things. But wow, guys, what a whiskey. If you can find this anywhere, I hope you can. I'll be holding on to my bottles, and at some point I'm sure I'll open them, because what a treat. Cheers.